The boxing world is no stranger to drama, but the recent developments surrounding Gervonta "Tank" Davis have sent shockwaves through the sport, igniting debates, fueling rivalries, and casting a shadow over his legacy. At the heart of the controversy is Davis's positive test for performance-enhancing drugs, PEDs, which has jeopardized the highly anticipated rematch against Lamont Roach Jr., originally scheduled for August 16, 2025. The boxing governing body, upon receiving reports of Davis testing positive twice in his latest voluntary Anti-Doping Association (VADA) tests, made the decision to suspend the rematch pending further investigation. Additional tests, including those conducted by the United States Anti-Doping Agency (USADA), are now underway to confirm the accuracy of the initial results. This marks the first time in Davis's career that he has been linked to PEDs, a stain on his otherwise stellar record that has left fans, analysts, and fellow fighters questioning his commitment to the sport. The positive tests come at a particularly tumultuous time for Davis, who, at 30 years old, is already facing scrutiny for what some perceive as a decline in his performance. His recent majority decision draw against Lamont Roach Jr. at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn was a shocking outcome for a fighter known for his knockout prowess. For the first time in his professional career, Davis left the ring without a victory, a result that stunned the crowd and left his team visibly frustrated. The fight itself was a grueling display of skill and tenacity, with Roach, a sizable underdog, proving he could hold his own against the lightweight king. From the opening bell, Roach boxed beautifully from the outside, utilizing his jab to keep Davis at bay. When forced to fight on the inside, Roach adapted seamlessly, showcasing the heart and versatility that have made him a respected champion in his own right. Davis's team, led by Barry Hunter in place of longtime mentor Calvin Ford, appeared confident going into the bout. Roach, despite holding a title, was seen as the smaller man, and Team Davis expected another routine night. However, as the rounds progressed, it became clear that Roach was not intimidated. He stood his ground, trading blows with Davis in a display of pure violence that left the Brooklyn crowd on its feet. When the final bell rang, the uncertainty in the arena was palpable. As the judges' scores were tallied, Team Davis waited patiently, but the grins on their faces turned to disbelief when the majority decision draw was announced. Hunter, in particular, was vocal about his disagreement with the judge's verdict, insisting that Davis had done enough to win. The draw was a bitter pill for a fighter accustomed to ending fights decisively, and it sparked immediate speculation about what went wrong. The PED controversy only deepened the questions surrounding Davis's performance. Some fans and analysts have speculated that Davis intentionally took performance-enhancing drugs to avoid the rematch with Roach, a claim that has yet to be substantiated. Davis, for his part, took to social media to downplay the situation, posting on X that the fight was still on and that there was nothing to worry or fear about. He insisted that the plan is still the plan, projecting confidence in the face of mounting scrutiny. However, the boxing world remains unconvinced, with many pointing to the timing of the test results as suspicious. According to reports, the results came back after the fight, raising questions about why they weren't disclosed earlier in the week. Critics argue that the delay allowed the narrative to shift, potentially protecting Davis's reputation until after the bout. Adding fuel to the fire is the re-emergence of tensions between Davis and former friend Richardson Hitchens, the IBF super lightweight champion. What began as a seemingly innocuous jab on social media has snowballed into a full-blown feud, captivating fans and drawing attention to their fractured relationship. The spark came when Davis posted a cryptic message on X, stating, "I'm done helping a lot of weird guys," alongside training footage that showed Hitchens borrowing Davis's gloves. The comment was widely interpreted as a direct shot at Hitchens, and it didn't take long for the internet to erupt with speculation. Davis escalated the situation with another post, warning Hitchens, "When I see you, be ready." The war of words quickly spiraled, with Hitchens responding in interviews with a mix of restraint and defiance. Hitchens, who was preparing for a title defense against George Kambosos Jr., addressed the feud with measured calm, stating, "It is what it is." But beneath the surface, his pride was evident. He acknowledged the mutual support he and Davis had shared in the past, noting that they had trained together and maintained a close friendship during Davis's time in jail. Hitchens recalled how Davis would call him multiple times a day, sharing stories and seeking support. "I always been a real friend to Tank," Hitchens said, emphasizing that while he couldn't offer financial help, he was there to keep Davis grounded and focused on training. Despite their history, Hitchens was quick to assert his independence, declaring that his success was the result of his own hard work, not handouts from Davis or anyone else. "Nobody gave me no chains, nobody gave me no cars, nobody bought me no apartment," he told reporters, driving home the point that his journey to becoming a world champion was his own. The feud took a particularly explosive turn when Hitchens, in an interview, made a pointed remark about Davis's positive PED tests. While praising Davis's freakish natural talent, Hitchens described him as a crackhead athlete lead on PEDs or some stuffs, a comment that sent shockwaves through the boxing community. The quote, which highlighted Davis's unpredictability and explosiveness, also served as a confirmation of the PED allegations, lending credence to the reports. Hitchens was careful to note Davis's limitations, such as his height and reach, but he ultimately concluded that Davis has everything in the book when it comes to boxing skills. The remarks underscored the complex dynamic between the two fighters, who were once teammates under Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s promotional banner but have since gone their separate ways. Davis's troubles extend Hawkins just about PEDs and personal feuds. His performance against Roach raised questions about his current form, with including Henry Garcia, Ryan Garcia's father and coach, suggesting that Davis's age is catching up to him. Garcia Sr. pointed to Davis's lack of explosiveness in the ring, noting that his legs aren't there as they used to be. He also questioned the decision to replace Calvin Ford with Barry Hunter as Davis's head trainer, suggesting that the switch may have contributed to his underwhelming performance. Ford later clarified that the change was due to scheduling conflicts, but the speculation persists. Garcia Sr. went so far as to say that there was no way Davis won the fight, a bold statement that reflects the growing sentiment that Davis may be losing his edge. The boxing world is also buzzing with comparisons to another recent PED scandal involving Ryan Garcia. Davis was notably vocal in defending Garcia during his suspension, accusing the boxing establishment of trying to discredit Garcia's victory over Devin Haney. Davis's now-deleted tweets called out promoter Eddie Hearn and others, alleging foul play in the handling of Garcia's test results. The parallels between Garcia's situation and Davis's current predicament are striking, leading some to speculate that Davis's staunch defense of Garcia may have stemmed from his own concerns about being caught. "They are doing anything to take away the win from Ryan," Davis wrote at the time, a sentiment that now feels eerily prophetic. As the boxing authorities continue their investigation into Davis's PED tests, the rematch with Roach hangs in the balance. Reports suggest that the fight could be rescheduled for June 2025, with Las Vegas and New York both being considered as potential venues. New York, where the first fight was a sellout success, is an appealing option given both fighters' East Coast roots, but Las Vegas's status as boxing's mecca makes it a strong contender. For Davis, the stakes couldn't be higher. A second positive test or a loss to Roach could irreparably damage his reputation as one of the sport's elite. To silence his doubters, he'll need to address concerns about his mobility, trainer alignment, and overall sharpness. The drama surrounding Davis extends beyond the ring, touching on the very essence of his legacy. Once hailed as a generational talent, Davis now faces questions about his discipline, his loyalty, and his future in the sport. His feud with Hitchens, his positive PED tests, and his system. The boxing world is reeling from the recent developments surrounding Gervonta "Tank" Davis, whose positive tests for performance-enhancing drugs, PEDs, have cast a shadow over his anticipated rematch with Lamont Roach Jr., set for August 16, 2025. The boxing governing body's decision to suspend the fight pending further investigation, including additional USADA tests, has intensified scrutiny on Davis, marking the first PED scandal in his career. This controversy follows a surprising majority decision draw against Roach at the Barclays Center, where Roach, considered a significant underdog, showcased remarkable skill and resilience, leaving fans and Davis's team stunned as the fight ended without a clear victor. The positive tests have sparked widespread speculation, with some suggesting Davis may have intentionally used PEDs to avoid the rematch, though he has dismissed these claims on social media, insisting the fight remains on track. The timing of the test results, revealed post-fight, has fueled skepticism, with critics questioning the delay in disclosure. Adding to the drama, a public feud with former friend and IBF super lightweight champion Richardson Hitchens has escalated, triggered by Davis's cryptic social media jab about helping weird guys, followed by a direct warning to Hitchens. Hitchens, preparing for a title defense, responded with a mix of restraint and defiance, emphasizing his independent rise to success while revealing details about Davis's PED tests, describing him as a crackhead athlete with extraordinary talent. Henry Garcia, father and coach of Ryan Garcia, has also weighed in, suggesting Davis's age and a controversial trainer switch from Calvin Ford to Barry Hunter may have impacted his performance against Roach. Garcia Sr. bluntly stated there was no way Davis won the fight, pointing to a perceived decline in Davis's explosiveness. The boxing world's focus now turns to the potential rescheduling of the Davis-Roach rematch, with Las Vegas and New York as possible venues, as Davis faces mounting pressure to restore his reputation amidst personal and professional challenges.